Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well today, and thank you. Sorry for the delay, but I was running some productive errands, and here we are. And these two brothers you see, folks, you better hold on, strap in, put on your seatbelt, chest restraints, everything you got. And we, folks, will be right back.
I'm Trent, and this is Vision Preparedness.
And we are back. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. And it is so good to see everybody on this wonderful, breezy, chilly, but sunny Saturday mid-afternoon from Ohio. Let me speak to some folks. Sister Marie's Kitchen, welcome. Psalm 146, good to see you in the house, home, and garden. RJ Funches, my man Dan H, Devil Dog Prepper. Good to see you, bruh. Good to see you. The Virginia Bushcrafter, my ride and die moderator, triple threat, firearms and defense. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to everybody. Sonia Riggs, good to see you. Just Josh, bruh, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. And they just keep rolling in. The Virginia Bushcrafter, good to see you, my friend. Kenna John, good to see you as well. So, without further ado, we're going to dive into this evening's dialogue, conversation, and just talking. These two brothers on the screen not only are they my brothers, my good friends, they motivate me, they push me, they make me. They force me to get better every time I see them, hear them, and we've been talking about trying to do a live forever. And I pushed motivation from the weightlifting geek in the corner, and African Dreaming was there, and I just said, "I'm waiting, y'all. We need to make this happen." So here it is, folks. Tori's Brain Games. Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Dan H, for the 5x5. Gina versus Gina. Welcome. Jeep Girl, good to see you. Do me a favor, everybody, before I introduce this evening's guest, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs down, share this out, do whatever you do. For content creators in the chat, if you type the word vision, it will drop your link. Folks, if there's people in here that you haven't subscribed to, go check out their content. Watch a video, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment. And if you like what you see, subscribe to their channel. That's how we do it. We will never get to where we want to be by ourselves. So together, we all can accomplish what we need to accomplish. With that, I want to introduce my two guests, just in case for those of you here that don't know them. And I'm going to start with my brother to my right, to your left, or to wherever you may see. African Dreaming. Introduce yourself, my brother. Tell everybody about you.
First off, man, thank you for having me, bro. It's an honor and a privilege to be a part of the panel to get to have this conversation with you and motivation from the weightlifting geek. And I'm a simple guy. I'm just an old country boy. I'm over here. I'm from East Texas. Now we live in East Africa, Tanzania to be exact. No particular reason other than we grown and said, well, yeah, we finna go live over there. So here we are. And my channel is my wife and myself, and we talk about not only living in Africa, we talk about chickens a little bit, goats a little bit. We get into some of the conversations that we're about to have tonight, and yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. Pretty much it.
Folks, if you've never seen African Dreaming and his amazing wife April, you need to go and listen to some of their lives, their videos. They always get me in my feelings, especially when I'm working. And yeah, next thing I know is 3 hours later, and they're still going. So with
Thank you, bro.
that, hey, bruh, always. So our next guest is motivation from the weightlifting geek, and this is another one of my brothers, a fine gentleman, doing what he does out here on these YouTube streets, plus a lot more. And with that, go ahead and introduce yourself, please, and tell us a little bit about your channel.
Just want to say hey to everyone. My name is Joe. Our channel is Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek. Thank you so much, Vision, for having us here. It's an absolute privilege. I feel honored to be among men. So I say thank you. And our channel is literally the name. We're all about motivation. We want to see everybody succeed. We started out as primarily a fitness channel, but motivation is what gets us in the gym chasing the weights. Motivation is what gets us through everyday life. So we changed the name of our channel to Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek. We go live Monday through Friday, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We try to have interesting topics that we can discuss. We want everybody to leave with more than what you came with. We want you to leave with more family members than what you came with. We want you to leave with more happiness than what you came with. And we can't wait to see you on the next one. That's what we do.
And they do what I
Yes.
do. Now, I'm gonna just tell y'all a little bit about Joe. This brother, like he said, he puts it down 5 days a week. Now, we all sit at home and do live streams and set up our studios and our rooms and do all this.
Yes.
This brother drops his live stream after work from his car. And and
Yes.
and, and if that is not dedication, consistency, and motivation, I don't know what is. So, hats off to you, Joe,
Thank you,
for
big
what
bro.
you do. You always push me to do more because my phone will go off at 11 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and he's dropping videos. And I'm like, really? Now I gotta, check myself to make sure I'm doing everything possible that I can do for the community as well.
Right.
But with that, fellas, thank you both. This is a long planned, in-depth conversation, and I'll tell y'all, just let it rip, say what's on your mind, do what you want to do, and we'll deal with the repercussions after the fact, because both of y'all get me in my feelings on a regular basis and start speaking truth. um
Yeah.
Golly, I
Yeah.
left something upstairs, and
Oh,
my
hey, go get it.
Yeah,
Go
this
and
is your
my
get it. Why
show.
not?
and my phone is in the truck. So with that, I'm gonna let you two do what you do, and I will be right back in less than 1 moment.
Sounds
Man,
great.
handle your business. We
Yes,
got you.
sir.
So, Joseph, how's the weather, sir?
The weather's good, Jay. How's the weather in Tanzania?
Quite fine, quite fine. A bit warm, but actually it's cooling off. Actually, and we may touch on this later tonight. Rainy season is finally kind of rolling in,
Nice.
and unlike the states, I've said this before. I say this again, man. Over here, water is life. A lot of people lost the first round of their crops. That ended up, I mean, it wasn't a complete loss because it was uprooted and fed to cattle and goats, cows, all of that kind of stuff. So it wasn't a
Gotcha.
total waste, but everybody kind of anticipated the rains to start rolling about 2-3 weeks ago, man. So it's
Okay.
like
It's long
rough,
overdue.
but it's starting to rain, so I'm happy. Birds happy, everybody happy.
Nice. Nice. That's what's up. And while we're here, I just want to take this opportunity. If y'all have not checked out some of African Dreaming's live streams, there's one live stream in particular where Jay came on and he just revealed himself as a man and the things that he's been through and his history. And it motivated me to do something similar for the first time at midnight last night. And
Oh wow,
I gotta
yeah.
publicly say thank you, Jay, because you pushed me, bro.
Thank you, man. That was deep. That was a deep story, and thank you for sharing that, man. For real.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he pushes both of us all the time. Both of y'all push me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
folks, if you have
Same.
questions, folks, top of the chat is the question box. You can type your question in there, and we will get to that question. So,
All right.
as we all know, conversation, past, present, and future. And we're going to cover the whole gambit, folks, and hopefully I'm going to be able to tie it back in the direction that I intended. But my plans don't mean too much because it may go in another direction, and that's okay. That's why we're doing this. We have no pre-scripted agenda other than to talk about what we've been talking about for the last 8 months, almost a year.
Yes.
And I'm gonna start it off with the past. Based on today's present circumstances, what should we learn from the past, gentlemen? And either one of y'all, that's an open-ended question for all of us. What should we learn from the past?
Not to repeat it. For one, that's a great place to start.
Exactly.
Of course, that's in context. Now, I mean, some parts of the past, it seems that humanity is in fact on a course to recapture some of those what was once thought to be antiquated ways of life, ways of living. They are being re-explored, reimagined, and then other parts of the human experience that are parts of the past. In my opinion, should have been left where they were, but it seems as though everything is being revisited yet again. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they say that hindsight's always 2020. So my dad had a phrase that he always told me, and we're gonna talk about it in depth on one of my live streams, but he always
Okay.
said, he said, son, if you went through something and didn't learn something from it, why'd you go through it?
yeah,
So if you go
yeah,
through something, then what can we learn from it that makes us better prepared for the future?
Exactly. And like Jay, like you said, we need to learn from the past, our mistakes and successes. That's the number one.
Yeah.
My
right,
dad used to always tell me, and both of y'all heard this, when I had questions or made mistakes or wanted to find out something, my dad used to always tell me, just keep living, son. Just keep living.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm sitting here like, dude, that tells me nothing. I'm in this car and you telling me keep living, keep living. But as I
right,
got older, I understood what he meant. He said, keep living and you will learn and figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
on your own.
yeah,
And, also from the past, I look at how my parents were raised and how my grandparents did things. They canned. They grew their own vegetables, they did it collectively as a family. My grandmother was one of 15 kids, and my
Mm-hmm.
grandfather was one of 9. So, they had nothing but to raise their own crops. I
Mhm.
can't even remember my grandparents ever going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember, back
Yeah.
then, you didn't go to the store to get your meat. You went to the butcher shop.
Uh-huh.
And
Right.
unless you knew, a farmer that raised beef and cows, and then you would go there and get slaughtered, get, your meat from them.
Mm-hmm.
So, those are some of the things. And like you said, Jay, right now, we need to get back to that based
Mhm.
on world circumstances and what's going on. They're putting
Yep.
all this mess in the food. No, Lord knows what they feed into all the animals just to, beef up production.
Mhm.
Yep.
And we're seeing it. Our children are going to see it, and the generation after that is going to see it even worse than what we did or dealt with or had to go through. So
And
Absolutely.
I,
uh,
I don't understand why people don't see this.
now I'm gonna tell you my perspective. When I was in
Hmm.
kindergarten teacher told us something whenever we would all get in trouble because we were all trying to do something. She say, "There's too many chiefs and not enough Indians in this classroom,"
Hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and it's true. That everybody's trying to outdo everybody now. There was
Yeah.
a time, like what you were saying, Vision, we came together and we
Mhm.
accomplished something together because together everybody got more in the end. But you got 9 people fighting 9 people and nobody gets nothing instead of everybody getting something. It's just, you could shake a man's hand and knew that it was going to happen. That kind of
Yes.
Yeah.
stuff doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Deals were made on a handshake,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Uh, Absolutely. Your word was your bond. It literally had to mean something along with your reputation. And
Yeah.
both of y'all have used a two-letter word that we have to incorporate in everything that we discuss from this point forth, in my opinion, or at least keep it somewhere tucked away in the recesses of our minds. We, that two-letter word, we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to really examine who is we when we talk
Hmm.
about some of these changes that need to be made, why things are the way they are, and who you can collectively and cohesively bond with in order to get what you need to get done with the things you see happening in the world, we is not going to look like it did during WW1. We is not going to look like it did during WW2. It's not going to
Right.
look like what it did during the civil rights era. We've had several just in recent history. In all actuality, that's still considered recent history. And we, Trent, you and I done talked about this, bro.
Yeah.
We looks very different going forward than what we once looked like.
Yeah.
My focus and emphasis is on the collective of like-minded, capable people
Right.
with goodwill and good intention, and
Right.
not to purposefully be exclusionary or overly inclusive to one party or group or whatever. But we at a point where if you don't mean me no good, I can't fool with you. If you don't,
Yeah.
Hmm.
you may not farm, you may not be 2A, you may not be a prepper, but you can be motivating. You can come with good energy and be willing to kind of learn, and you can lift me up. Something that's is not based on it to necessarily be a quid pro quo, but
Yeah.
something for something. You got to give me something good that I can use and introduce into my everyday life and who I am and what we trying to get done. Or I almost don't need you.
And, and
Correct.
I'm gonna tell you something, Jay. Cause see, this is I'm loving this, cause I'm starting to feel my feelings right about now.
Uh huh.
Because I can't be Jay and I can't be vision. No matter
Right.
how much I try, I can't be. But when you look at the human body, each organ brings something to the table. If your heart tries to breathe, it ain't gonna work. If your lungs try to pump blood, it ain't gonna work. We don't
Right.
have to be the same to help each other. But what are you bringing to the table to help we, like you were saying, Jay? Because now it's both of us.
Yeah.
What are you bringing to the table that helps us both?
Right.
Yeah. And I'll say this, dude, y'all, if y'all haven't been looking at the chat, there are some amazing comments.
I've been looking.
And I'm trying, y'all know I can't multitask with the chat and what we're doing because I get sucked into the chat. And yeah. But James Price says, the elites are good at splitting people apart, divide and conquer. And that's the whole goal.
Yeah.
That they know that. And we fall for it. And that's what Jay was talking about. What the we looked like through World War I, World War II, civil rights does not look like the we that is here today. And it's going to take like-minded people coming together for the same goal. It baffles me, with the things that people say, and they look at you like you're from Mars just because whatever. Either you don't agree with their politics, or you're not the right skin color, or you don't live in the right neighborhood. And that was done systematically over decades.
Yeah.
To get us to where we are now. It ain't happenstance. It isn't coincidence. It was planned and deliberate.
I agree. And I appreciate these types of conversations so much because have as humans we dealt with social issues, have we dealt with class issues, we definitely done dealt with racial related issues.
Right.
And everybody ain't got on the same kind of glasses I got on towards what I see in this world.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell y'all something, gentlemen. Everybody in trouble. Everybody in trouble. Everybody. Just because it hadn't clicked and registered with the greater majority as of yet.
Right.
Everybody finna face some things and go through some things. So, your state of preparedness and how you view what's currently existing in front of us, at least what I see, that we gonna look different going forward. I'm gonna say it again because I believe that with all my heart and soul, and that's just my stance on it. And I'm gonna leave it to you to start introducing some of the things that might be pushing things the way they are, because I gotta watch you. Yeah, I gotta on your channel. Gotta watch you, man. You'll go out there.
I will, and you'll be trying to reel me back in, and like this morning on my coffee talk, I was talking about a lady. I found an article that was talking about what's going on with her house in East Palestine. I got 2 comments that I haven't verified. One was from this lady's brother.
Wow.
And the second one was from herself that did this interview. So after I verify some information, I have somebody that I think I'm going to team up with to see if we can do a live stream and interview this woman.
That would be amazing.
So we can get firsthand account of what these people are dealing with in East Palestine. Now, was that planned? I don't know. I can't prove it. And as one of my wise brothers told me, 2 things that happened, 3 things that happened could be a coincidence, but folks plan coincidences for years.
Yes.
So yes.
I that blew me away. Yes. That made me sit back in my chair and say, see, here he goes. and I had to throttle back, push down, hold on, and say, saving it for this evening.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
and see, that's the problem is you have those that have power because of the positions that they hold. But there was a time when that power was used for the greater good of everyone.
Right.
But because there's so much of a me instead of a we, like what you were saying, Jay, there's so many things that we don't know because we aren't the me. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how these things happen. And we just have to stay alert to them.
Yeah. And you know, we need to learn from our past. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna put this out here. See, first of all, last week when we were talking about doing this, that night I talked to African Dreaming on the phone. We talked for almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was 4 o'clock in the morning when I went to bed because I started taking notes and writing down stuff that I wanted to say and talk about because, you know, y'all do that to me, and that's okay. But because we're speaking truth,
Right.
you know, the past. I go back to looking at how my grandparents moved throughout life. And there was a we. We was a functional, must have component of everybody's life then.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know? And
Yeah.
I'm going to say it, I'm going to put it out there. Folks,
Put it out there.
I am. Folks, I'm going to tell you this right now. Human beings were never created to be alone. And I'm going to leave it at that for now.
True.
I'll get into more of that later, but we were never created to be alone and to ourselves and separated.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't care how manly you are, how macho you are, whatever the case may be. All of us need some type of communication, dare I say companionship of some kind. We need something to belong to. That's just how we were designed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree 100%, bro. And to not be alone is as much of a necessity as where that we that Trent was just talking about come from in the first place, because we, that collective we, is often bred out of hardship and necessity. And I'm not saying that it's exclusive to the US. Many Western countries have, you can't help where you're born. I'm blessed for it, but it ain't my fault. I'm from the great state of Texas, and I happen to be a Texan.
Gotta make Vision choke.
I'm not gonna bite. I'm not gonna bite.
Okay, good. So I can't help that, right? I'm blessed. I'm a Texan and an East Texan at that, but I'm an American also, and I can't help that. But I'll say this: there are so many comforts that comes along with being born in the good old U.S. of A. that some people, generation after generation after generation, has not incurred certain hardships that once made we we keep talking about a necessity for everyday life in different capacities, in different ethnic groups, in different nationalities. You needed a we to survive.
Yes.
You needed a we to survive. And I can't put my finger on it. I can't prove it, like Trent said earlier. But baby, I'm gonna tell you, my heart, my mind, my spirit telling me we finna need each other. That's why we're finding our we right now, because like Joe said, like motivation said, this world is kind of situated in such a way where you leave home as soon as you can. You go get your own apartment. Got bills you shouldn't even have. Got to do stuff you shouldn't even have to do. When you could just slow down, be with family,
Mm-hmm.
stay home longer, do this longer. But no, that's not what society says. And for all my parents out there, some of y'all can attest to this. Just because your baby's 17 or 18 years old, do not mean
Mm-mm.
they ready for life.
Exactly.
But that's another conversation. I'm sorry, bro. Go
Well,
ahead.
Nah, go ahead. Nah, you going down the road, bro. I'm getting out the way. I'm stepping to the side. But
Oh,
but
go
here's a
ahead, Joe.
question.
Okay.
Here's a question, Joe. Before you go, here's a question from the resilient dad that I want to answer. What are your thoughts on taking the time to deal with the me, so it doesn't reduce the impact of the we? So here's the
Mm.
first part of that, and I'm gonna hit us in the head and start with my own children, because the generation is the entitlement generation. And my youngest is 18, my oldest is in her 30s. I told my son, I said, dude, there is no, you are not a me, because you don't own anything, you don't have a job, every
Mm-hmm.
piece of clothing you have on was bought by either me or your mother, and them Jordans you wearing, you ain't got no money to buy them. So there is no me. You are you. You are my child. You have my last name. I own you. I can work you from sun up to sundown legally. There's nothing you can do. So, so then fast forward, he's 18, getting ready to go off to college, play football. He wanted a tattoo. And that's a whole nother conversation. But I told him, I said, what are you getting? And he showed me the tattoo. And the tattoo is, dang it, my phone's upstairs, is a Bible verse with a dove, and then under it says family over everything. I said,
Yeah.
okay, I like that. You can get it. Gave him my blessing. And then so every time he comes back and says, well, I want to do this, and I'm like, dude, you are a man of your word. When you say you're going to do something, you better do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to go somewhere, and he was supposed to be at my house at 4:00. 4:00 came and gone. And I told him, look at that tattoo on your right arm, dude. You're a hypocrite. Keep in mind what's there and what you're supposed to do, and do the right thing. So there is no me, and the ones that think that they can survive by themselves, and everything encompassing in the world is about them, resilient dad, I stay away from. I'm like, okay. As Jay says, I don't get in grown folks' business.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you want to do, good luck and go on about your business. So
And
how do y'all deal with that? The me
well,
mentality.
and the
Oh,
funny
go ahead,
thing
Joe.
is that the things that you mentioned, Vision, are the
Mm-hmm.
same things that I was going to mention before you
Mm-hmm.
asked for a response to the question. Because as important as we is,
Mm-hmm.
we starts with individuals that understand what we means. And
Correct.
I can't fix that for everybody.
Right.
Now, I can include it in the content that I can create. I
Mm-hmm.
motivate others to understand the concept of you need someone else. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
determined that
Mm-hmm.
those that I live with, little man, and so on and so forth, that is where my ability to change that starts with.
Gotcha.
Because
Yes.
I need him to know, listen, you growing up, you realizing you got skills at this and that, but son, you already have a big head, just like your daddy. Don't let that head get any bigger. You
Mm-hmm.
because it just because you can
Yeah.
accomplish something, it doesn't make you unduly special. What
Right.
makes you special is when you can bring those talents to the table with the we and now we all benefit from your talents. So that's what I'm
Exactly.
going to do.
So we got,
Yes.
Renee, before you go, one quote. We got questions coming up. The first
Ooh.
Okay.
question is for African Dreaming. African Dreaming, may I ask, what is the average water table out there you're dealing with? And this comes from Paul Conroy Jr.
Okay. I'm gonna answer Paul. I'm gonna respond to a resilient dad first.
Okay.
To elaborate, I love this panel because y'all can offer insight to the panel and to one another that I never could, because being fathers, you have a whole different perspective, and to add a little bit of nuance to what a resilient dad asked, I would, here's my stance on it. Look here, uh, I think sometimes it's a both and not an either or with fixing the you or working on the you, because I've seen it be beneficial in both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a little bit of distance to do a lot of self-reflection and self-evaluation can in turn make you better for the group, for your family, for uh whatever circles you contribute to or are a part of. And on the other hand, I've seen people find their strength by finding belonging, by being a part of a group, be it your local church, your local motorcycle club, your group of people that go out to the range together. So two things can be true. It's a matter of individual need, I believe, and whatever circumstances that person is dealing with at that point in their life in the moment. Now, to answer the second question, the water table, dry. It's dry. That's how the water table looks. Dry.
Right. So another question, for African Dreaming from Dan H. Do you lose any topsoil during rainy season?
Not everybody, but lots of people do. Now, our main thing over here is actually poultry production. It's small, nothing big. I mean, we not, you know what I'm saying? It's not a major operation over here. Is very small. It's a small business, and we have several other endeavors in conjunction with that. That's one of many. But a lot of people, we do grow. Everybody that I know grows, regardless of profession.
Mm-hmm.
Lawyers grow.
Mm-hmm.
Attorneys grow. They have a small, in Kiswahili, shamba is the name of a farm. That's the word for farm in Kiswahili. Uh,
Okay.
you could be an educator, a doctor, an attorney, a bus driver. Guess what? You growing something on some piece of your property, some kind of food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a mountainous region, so yeah, a lot of people do you lose topsoil, especially when we have a heavy rainy season. But a lot of the farming is in a little bit more of the flat lands. Which is where our business is, not much of an issue. In the mountainous areas, yeah, it's very possible, and a lot of people do lose topsoil.
Okay. Yeah. So we got a question from Amber Angel's Truth. She's saying, do you think 12 to 17-year-olds are lost right now? That's her question. 12 to 17-year-old young adults and soon to be adults. Do you think they're lost right now?
I'm, I'm gonna say this. There was a time where when you grew up, it wasn't just you and your parents in the house. It was
Mm-hmm.
you, your parents, a grandparent of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
So the the grandparent understood their child and their grandchild. So there was a way to fill in those gaps when the parent said something that the child didn't quite understand. The grandparent knew how to slide that thing in just right, so that even though it hurt, you understood it. So I'm not going to say that they're lost, but I think that is a generation and an age group where they have not been cared for as it used to be in the past, which makes it difficult for them. Because, like what Jay was saying earlier, you got kids that aren't ready to leave the nest, but they're forced to leave the nest.
Right.
So what do?
Right. Yeah. Very, very, very true. I don't think they're lost, and I'm gonna say that because it goes back to what both of you have said. Motivation. You talked about, no, it was Jay that talked about being part of a group helps you change your mindset, and my son is prime example. When he was young, he was quiet, kept to himself, good kid, but just kept to himself. When he started playing football and being organized in a group and having to rely on others to accomplish a common goal, that's the best thing that he ever did. He is so focused now that I applaud him for that. But it truly does, and I forget who said it in the chat, but it truly does take a village.
Yeah.
Whether it's siblings, parents, grandparents, great grandparents, coaches, teachers, neighbors in the neighborhood. See, when I was growing up, you did something wrong in the neighborhood, whoever's parents called you, they got on you. And by the time you got home, mom and dad knew it, and you got it even worse. Because everybody knows everybody, and everybody would have influence in your well-being, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah. So, it's just,
You're
I
still
don't
muted,
truly
Jay.
think anybody's lost because everybody has a choice. Everybody has a choice.
Yeah.
And just because you're lost doesn't mean you can't be found. But in order to be found, you have to be willing to be found. And that's the
Facts.
epiphany, the come to Jesus, or whatever you want to call it, that it's going to take. And from there, you move forward. So,
Um, I don't personally have any little ones, but I do have also a football player. I have, three nephews I'm close to. One of whom, the older one, I'm the closest to, and you know, big kid, still a kid to me because I saw him 10 minutes old, so he'll always be a kid to
right.
me. But just massive guy, young man. Um, and I agree with you. I don't think they lost. I agree with both of y'all. I don't think they're lost either. I think that we don't choose the moment in which we exist. We choose what we do with the moment in which we exist, but we have no control. I didn't ask to be born, watching Fraggle Rock, just like they didn't ask to be born with iPads. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
not the kids' fault that they got iPads and they just born into this world with this
Yes.
overwhelming technology and whatnot. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's complicated. I think it'll continue to be complicated, but uh y'all made some solid points. And Vision, if you don't mind me, Paul said Paul said that didn't help. He was talking about a different form of irrigation system. Now, to be completely transparent with where I'm at in Tanzania, in East Africa, I'm more near the Kenyan border, right? So,
Okay.
and the Indian Ocean. And Now, Tanzania is a massively huge country. So if those techniques are implemented in some of the drier areas, uh, in other parts of the country, with regards to the water table, I don't know 100%, but I know around here, which is a huge farming community, folk wait on God. People wait on the rain. They wait on the rain, and if the rains come like they should, then it's a good season. If the
Right.
rains don't come like they should, because transporting water, which is an option, that's for people who can afford it. And even the farmers, larger farmers who could afford it, you start exporting out water and irrigating it and stuff. I mean, you less than breaking even. So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Can I say one
Go ahead.
thing real
Oh,
quick?
absolutely. Go ahead, Joe.
The Virginia Bushcrafters comment at 6:09 p.m. I got to start taking those same vitamins. It's just a little ways up, but they mentioned a specific vitamin, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we all need that.
I'm looking through the
I
chat
got to
for
see.
the comment.
Yeah. They said I take a new vitamin. It's called Stay Away from Negative People. That's what I'm
Oh man.
talking about.
I gotta
That's what
find
I'm
that
talking about.
comment. I ain't been paying attention to nothing in the chat. All right, I can't find it.
That's the best vitamin you can get.
What time was it, Joe? What was the time stamp?
That's
6 what?
6:09.
See, he keep
It,
he
it was
sees
right after Mad Shad dropped African
I
Dream
see it.
Muslim.
I'm getting down there because I'm like way behind in the chat. 6:09.
Oh, thank you, Shad. Appreciate it.
And thank you for dropping ours too. We appreciate it.
Appreciate to all of my amazing moderators here today. They're on top
Yes.
of everything. And there it is. Boom. I take a new vitamin. It's called Stay Away from Negative People. That's good.
Yes.
Now, with that,
Yes.
without on the outside, and I'm gonna hit y'all on the head. I'm gonna drop something on the table, and then I'm gonna slide to my right and let this ferment for y'all. I heard this the other day and was like, oh, wait a minute, I need to write this down. Only those that truly care about you can hear you when you're quiet.
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Listen, I ain't signed up for this vision. I did not sign up for this. But we, as humans, we focus so much on auditory. Mm-hmm. But you take two dogs. Mm-hmm. They don't speak English. But when one dog acts up, they know that the other dog ain't having it no more, because of body language and things of that nature. If you really care about someone, it's past what they say. You watch what they do. So I know when certain things happen that, hey, I need to reach out to African Dream. Let me see how they're doing. I got to reach out to Trent. I got to see how Vision's doing, because it don't have to be said. Everybody don't see it. But because I pay attention, because I care, I got to reach out. And I'm going to tell you, matter of fact, Thursday, African Dreaming, Jay, he sent me a message on IG. You all right? I don't see a live stream schedule. Now, we were being interviewed on Yaya's Best Life, but it's not always about what's said. You got to be able to read people when they're not talking. And the only way you can do that is observe them enough because you care.
Right. Yes. And I'm that way with Triple Threat. You know, I'll pick up, hey, you good? What's going on? You're the only one I know that, you know, you get 1,000 subscribers in 2 weeks, and I ain't seen you on the YouTube. You know?
Right.
And then she goes into what she's going, you know, we sit there and laugh, and I'm like, okay, I'm just checking, making sure everything's
just
good.
Checking.
The family good, because I'm that guy. That's my ride and die. And, you know, I told her, I said, you know, just because my favorite color is black and my favorite bird is a hawk, You know, I can, I can do Wheels Up in 5 minutes, and we can roll in down there.
Ah,
Ooh,
ah,
ooh, ooh. Now,
ah.
this is the good thing, cause see, he ain't say nothing about Texas, but Vision came back in his own way.
He came back. Yeah, I see you, bro. I see you. I see you.
It ain't
Yeah,
nothing
it's
but
okay.
love, bro.
It's okay.
but
But
yeah, go ahead,
yeah.
Jay. Go ahead, man.
No, I was gonna say you right, cause like Gina versus Gina in here, and me and April
Mhm.
was talking the other day, and I was like, "Baby, you seen Gina?" It's like, "No, I ain't seen Gina. It's been a couple of days." And some
Mhm.
people just stand out to you, and you
Mhm.
wonder where they been if they are right. And the reason that that's a two-way street, uh, I'm sure that almost anybody you would feel that way about, feel that same way about you. You
Yeah,
check on each other. It's reciprocated. It's back and forth. And going with communication, I think because of the lack of intimacy, because of the lack of inter and intrapersonal communications that we live in 2023, um so much of it is via these here internets and online, and um it's not face to face the way it once was. Nonverbal communication is one of the most powerful forms.
Yes.
If my wife walked through the door, she ain't got to say a word. It's written
Right.
all over your face. Same
Yes.
thing for your kids. Same thing for any loved one or just a friend, somebody that you care about. So, yeah, I think that's underestimated. And um, if you don't mind me saying, Vision, I want to say that as the world continues to turn into what it's turning into in front of us, I
Hmm.
think that those types of connections will not only be reinforced out of necessity, they
Yeah.
will be reestablished more and more and more, because you can't build a community or a village without somebody being that for somebody else.
yeah,
Exactly. You're dead on it, and that rolls right into a question we have. Um, RJ Funches wants to know, African Dreaming, does the village concept exist in your area?
I literally live in one. Yes. Yes. It
Hmm.
is um I'll tell you something that happened recently that's not uncommon. So uh regardless of how much money or wealth a person has over here, it is very, very common for folk to either do their own laundry or have somebody else. I'm gonna put this out here: having a home helper, we call them a dada. Uh, to
Okay.
have a gardener is very common, even for what's considered middle class over here, right? So somebody will do your laundry, or you do your own laundry, and you hang it outside. Do people have wash and dryers? Yes. Could I go into downtown and buy one tomorrow morning? Sure, we could. It's just not conducive with what the culture is here. I said all that to give y'all a quick story. If there is a clothesline or a piece of wire hanging up on your property, or somewhere where it's accessible to other people, don't be surprised you wake up one morning and one of your neighbors or somebody then put all their clothes up on your clothesline. I mean,
Okay.
they will ask usually, but there are certain things that when the water, speaking of the water table, it's been really dry. We've been having a lot of water issues. I'm telling y'all, family, stay prepared. We didn't have water coming out of pipes for 8 days, and we was still good. Still
Hmm.
good, because we living like that over here. It's real.
Right.
But not only do I live in a village, the concept of a village, the concept of a collective is a much freer version than having that idea thrown up on you, because y'all know that's that other C word. That's
yeah.
that other C word, and that ain't what you want, because that's when it's not by choice. So yeah.
Right. So, got another question. This question comes in from Old Mutt. He wants to know, what is the biggest, and this is to the panel, What is the biggest threat to you and your family, naturally or man-made?
Mm. Um, I'm I'm
Wow.
gonna say man-made.
Okay. And what threat would that be?
Mankind. Period.
Woo!
Because
Woo!
and
Woo!
Hey, 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 Joe.
Woo! Man.
but
Yeah.
but because there are concepts that exist among packs of wolves, among most animals that move in groups. There's an understanding that as intelligent as we are as humans, we oftentimes choose to or intentionally or unintentionally neglect. And it's sad because as intelligent as we are, the many things that we can do, why is it that we can't coexist like a group of sheep? Why? So, for that reason, outside of those that you know and trust, you have no choice but to not trust the rest because you don't know them. And by and large, life has taught us that those that we don't trust mean us harm until we know better.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And
That was deep, bro. That was deep. That was
That's all
deep.
I got.
I agree with that 100% because we are our worst enemy, mankind. Good, bad, or indifferent. There's good people, there's bad people, there's evil people, there's brilliant people. We will be our own downfall. And everything that you look at right now that's going on, not only in our country, but around the world,
Mm-hmm.
everything was man made because everything that man touches, creates, conceives, and does has the ability to fail.
Yes,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Period.
that part.
I don't care if you're driving a brand new Tesla, if you're driving a 1963 Bel Air convertible, it can and will, if not have, failed. Everything that
Fail.
man touches, there is that option that it will fail.
Mm-hmm.
Not can, but
Yes.
it will.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yeah.
y'all.
Hey, bro. I agree with both of y'all, and I'm gonna say man-made, just like y'all said. Cause with nature, now even if nature take me out, which it
Mhm.
could, it has before. Hell, there's lions walking around over here. You know what I'm saying? So if
Right.
nature get a hold of me, it's natural. It's something natural
Mhm.
and kind of understood about it.
Mm-hmm.
Man-made because unfortunately the things that y'all named previously are in fact the consequence of our existence as human
Yes.
beings. It's
Yes.
always another man that do you
Mm-hmm.
wrong. It's always a group of other men or women who accost one another. You know, if I get got by a lion, everybody know bears eat your legs, lions will eat your leg. If I get got by them, then I just get got. But it's something hurtful about it because that animal is acting off of instinct. But when another man or woman hurt me, baby, you thought about that for a little while. It's
Yeah.
deliberate.
Yeah.
That's where the hurt come in. That's where the pain come in. So just like you had that choice to do that to me, you had that choice not to do that to me. So it just seems like it's a consequence of what comes with life, that thing we call life, that human experience. And
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree with both of y'all, man. If I had to pick, I'd definitely say man made. And all of it. All
Yeah.
of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
Right. We got another question. Amber Angel's Truth is asking, what do you think with the protests that recently started, excuse me, all across America in reference to preparedness? I'm going to say this, folks. I've been saying it since I started my channel. It's one of the reasons why I started my channel, and it's one reason why I will continue to do not only my channel, but my company and my personal and everything. It's not about if something bad happens on a large scale. It's a matter of when.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Charlie 19 plan, whatever you call it, locked down, closed out, shut off, turned around, and told to go home. Prepare, prepare, prepare. For those of you that were in coffee talk this morning, and I talked about a sense of urgency that I've been having for the last 3 months, I am aggressively only focusing on what I'm lacking right now. That's it, period. And Tuesday, I talked about being productive versus being busy. And everybody knows, and I said, what I've been focusing on versus gear and all this other stuff is right here, the mental preparedness in order to deal with what's about to come down the road. I just checked off one of my major lists, and it's sitting outside in front of my house.
Nice.
And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yes. Yeah.
Fill your gaps. Focus on what is important to you and your family and what you are going to need to survive. And I'm going to say it. I don't care. When all hell breaks loose, because it's coming, folks. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And that's the urgency I have been feeling. And that's exactly what I'm focused on right now. And so I'll let y'all go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say real quick with what Brother Trent just said, man. Y'all look here. Because when he did like this, it visually stimulated me, because you got to think about some of the things that you might want to be ready for. Now, he out here giving life-saving tips. He teaching people techniques and methodologies in order to save your life. But when it comes to thinking about this right here and dealing with some things you may or may not be ready for, Vision and I done talked about this before. If you on the highway and you roll past the accident and you train and you decide to interject to put yourself in a situation and assist another person, baby, it's easy to crank that down on a stranger. It may not be easy depending on what you're ready for, but it's a lot easier to crank that down to stop that bleed on a stranger than it is on your oldest boy, or on your wife, or on your grandma, or on somebody else that you done knew your whole life. See, that's what he mean. Correct me if I'm wrong, bro, but that's what we talking about by being mentally prepared to do some things that you might not want to do, but they've at least crossed your mind. And it's like, if this happens, okay, I'm willing to do this. Just telling yourself that can give you maybe that half a second decision time to either commit one way or the other.
Yeah.
Just something to think about.
And I'm gonna tell you, the mind. What was that? What was that phrase that they used several years ago? The mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Terrible thing to waste.
Yes.
The ability that we possess mentally is what is a catalyst for anything that we do physically, whether it be good or bad. Anything that we do physically starts mentally, because unlike animals, we don't act on instinct, like what you were saying earlier, Jay.
Right.
So if I can make my mind strong, then my body will follow my mind.
Correct.
But if my mind is weak, it doesn't matter how strong my body is. I'm not gonna make it. So
facts, bro.
You know,
Facts.
and that's part of why we changed the name of our channel, because I can go in the gym. I can. Let's just say theoretically that I was at my goal and I could bench press 500 pounds. I ain't there now, not even close. But even if I was there, all of that physical strength without something to guide it still gets me nowhere. The one thing that I can do right now is make my mind strong. And the stronger my mind is, the rest of this body, whether it's where I want it to be or not, it will act accordingly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with that, we have another question from Martika for African Dreaming. So what are the critical preps to you as a person living in a village with unstable water and electricity? I'm trying to fill my holes by thinking outside of the box.
Okay, that's a great question. And I'll go off of my own experience.
Mm-hmm.
And um first off, back up. Back up solar. Two is one and one is none. But we do gas and we do solar. So both of those are ways to go. You know, when you can access the grid, that's cool and dandy. That's fine. It's not something I'm against because three is better than two. Two is better than one.
Right.
Fill up the batteries. Fill up the batteries. Make sure that they are stable, operational. Check them from time to time. Check all your equipment. I mean, we use it regularly, so we know its operational state. Um, Fuel. Propane is huge over here. I don't care how big your house is. There ain't no natural gas lines running into that joint. Everything is propane. People cook outdoors like it's a camping trip on a daily basis. It's not uncommon. It's very regular to see people in the evenings or afternoons either on what we would call a barbecue grill or literally just a wood and charcoal fire. Very common. So I keep those skills ready too. We keep dry wood in certain places.
Mhm.
Along with the propane. And the last most two important things are first aid supplies along with water filtration system. When I say water filtration, I'm talking about everything from a hand pump that you got 500 cycles on, that you can use to turn what was non-potable water into potable water. Uh,
Yes.
that's real life for us. That is, and keeping a go bag, an A bag and a B bag, y'all call them bug out.
Tell it,
That's
Jay.
it.
Mhm.
Tell it, bruh.
That's it. That's
With
real
that,
life for us. Go
yes.
ahead, bro. My bad.
No, you keep talking. I'm gonna dovetail on that. Keep going.
Oh, that's it. That's it. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, folks. I'm going to share something with you, and we're going to come right back right after.
Hey, you right there. How you doing? Vision Preparedness here. I just wanted to take a moment to let you know, Bug Out Weekend, June 2nd through the 4th, 2023. You want to be there. Like-minded people are coming around from all over the country, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to hang out, we're going to meet, we're going to talk, we're going to learn some stuff. You need to be there. Don't miss it. That's June 2nd through the 4th, 2023. I got to get back to doing the things. Y'all be safe and God bless.
I did that, folks, because I was always told by two brothers that I don't never promote myself enough.
I'm
So
proud of you.
Yes. Yes.
everything that Jay just said about know your stuff, the Bug Out Weekend, that is why I'm having it. And I ain't just smart. I got to give a mad shout out to my brother from another mother, Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, because he started doing them. And I asked him, I said, dude, I want to do this in Ohio. What do I need to do? And we had many conversations. But the bug out weekend is where you bring the gear that you have not tested out, you may have bought, and come up for the weekend and practice it, use it, and share information with like-minded people. They're coming from all over the country, folks, and the closer it gets here, the more excited I get. And you need to be there if you haven't. If you can register, it's free. Everything is free. All you need to do is show up, and we're going to have some amazing food on Saturday night because I'm feeding everybody. And we're going to learn. If you have old gear you're no longer using, bring it, and you can swap it with folks that may need it. You can give it to them, whatever. But the bug out weekend, that is why it is happening, for like-minded people so we can come together and learn from each other. And I've said it before. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but Old Mutt, I want to sit down and break bread with you and talk about solar generators. I got mine, but I want to learn more. I need to know more. I'm bringing all of them I got. We're going to practice and use them and see what happens. That's the premise behind the bug out weekend. Plus, we're going to have a good time, and I get to meet y'all. Everybody that comes and shows up, we're going to have a blast, and we're giving away tons of stuff, folks. So I just thought that was a good segue into what Jay was talking about.
I'm just proud of you for pushing the video, bro.
Yeah.
Well, y'all make me. Y'all push me to do it. So, my guy over at Steve's Creative Sessions, who does all my videos, he's in my group. I said, man, we got to put some brain busters together and start doing some promos. And that's the first, and there's some more that's coming. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Ooh.
Nice.
So with that, Martika has another question. As a new prepper, is there a master list to direct new preppers?
Can I throw in a caveat?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Vision. Please forgive me, bro. But when you went to the ad, I had to something popped in my head because we got 3 men having a conversation. We have a woman that just asked a question. I'm just gonna say this from personal experience. If you have a family member or relatives, wives, daughters, and they may not be thinking about it, they could care less, whatever. Gentlemen, please, I encourage you, do not forget feminine hygiene products. Don't forget those things. Don't forget wipes. Don't forget for you and for everybody. I mean, just things that you would never think of until you don't have them readily accessible and available no more. So, I mean, the shelf life on those types of products, as far as I know, it is a long time. Get them, throw them away. Not throw them away. Throw them back. Throw them in your A bag. Throw them in your B bag. Throw them in your, if you got if it could be something as simple as just a crate or a container, an old plastic tote. Have them readily available in your crib for people who don't think they'll ever be in a situation where they might need them. And it don't have to be the end of the world and zombies walking around. A natural disaster could put you in a situation where that store you just knew you could go into 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, ain't there no more. So that's it, bro. That's it.
No, you were dead on it. We had a comment in the chat. Tactical Skillionaire Defense. You're in Michigan. You're in that state up north, but we're gonna let you come in. But registration is free. I just dropped a link into the chat. There's all the information to it right there. Yeah.
Now, I want to say one thing real quick.
Go ahead,
once you finish.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
This is the beautiful thing about YouTube. I got on YouTube for fitness. You know what I mean? When I first started my channel, I envisioned learning from people that are bench pressing my goals and that kind of deal. But the longer I've been on YouTube, the longer and the more I've found people that are genuinely concerned about me that do different things in what I do. So I'm learning from Vision. I'm learning from African Dreaming about how to prep and how to prepare. But the one thing that I'm seeing is that all of us have been preppers all of our life. When you go to the store and you see the coupon deal and you get the extra because you know you'll need it later, that's prepping. But we're learning together how to prep at college level instead of kindergarten. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
And to circle back around, Martika, to answer your question, as a new prepper, is there a master list of direct new preppers? A list to direct. I'll say this. Send me an email, visionpreparedness@gmail.com. There is tons of information out there, and I can even guide you and help you. Whatever you're prepping for, no matter people in your family, first the top 5. Water, food, shelter, security, and communications. That's top 5 items. And within each one of those categories is a gambit of stuff you can have. Start out food and water. Start out with having 3 weeks. Okay. Or actually, they say 3 days, but I say 3 weeks. You want to go 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, and then duplicate that, and you've got 1 year. The resilient dad, bruh, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
This always humbles me, period. Thank you for the donation. All of our donations go back into the channel, and for the Bug Out Weekend, we put back everything we get to help out everybody. So again, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. But Martika, send me an email, visionpreparedness@gmail.com. I will email you stuff, okay? And I will direct you in what to look, but based on your needs, whether it's just you or your family or however, food, water, and shelter, your home, okay? You want to start out with 3 weeks of food and water and then go 3 months, 6 months. I'm going to send you documents. You can even look it up. How much water does the average person drink per day? They will say a gallon of water per person per day just for drinking. I would up that and say 2 gallons of water per day per person and go from there. But send me an email. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that as well. Thank you. Yep, the percentage of C's and exactly. Thank you, Paul. And see, Paul and I'm gonna put this up in the chat. Paul said, "Give me a day or two, and I will try to put together a list on that." But I would have to say the percentage season as well as the pyramid. Correct. You're right, Paul.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to over inundate Martika with her basic question. But Martika, you're not alone. And there's plenty of people on YouTube in the preparedness community, in all the communities that can give you direction, guidelines, and what you can do. The biggest thing I would tell you right now, if you're able to, this spring, wherever you're at, start your own garden, grow vegetables and fruits, grow your own food. That would be the first step. So with that, I'm yeah. Okay. So we've talked about the present. We've talked about the past. We're in the present. Now, I'm gonna drop another gold nugget on the table for y'all, and then I'm gonna
See,
walk.
I love this. I love this.
I'm gonna walk away and go get me another cup of
Okay.
coffee and let y'all discuss this.
Okay.
There are only 4 reasons that people will change. Only 4. Here's the first one. A person is hurt enough that they have to change. The second one, they see enough and they are inspired to change. The third one, when they learn enough and that they want to change. And the fourth one, they receive enough that they are able to change. I'm gonna leave that right there, y'all,
Ooh.
and I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna let y'all talk about that.
Woo. Well,
Boy,
John,
I think his nugget broke the table. What I think. And I'm gonna tell you from a male perspective, it takes us time to do things which may not always be understood from a feminine perspective, because logically it makes sense. This is this. 1 + 1 is 2. Why are you not willing to go to 2? But as men, sometimes it takes us a little while. Sometimes we got to be hurt enough. Sometimes we got to be inspired enough. Sometimes we have to learn enough to get to the point where we want to do something different. But
yeah.
regardless of what those reasons are, change is a good thing. And I mean, I can't speak to all 4, but the primary goal of our channel is to motivate everyone so that they can individually use that motivation for whatever is the best change in their life.
Yeah. That's real, bro. That's real. I'm boy, he just really dropped us with that and walked away. I think he did.
It went dark.
I think he did great. I'm gonna say this when I think about like prepping, when I think about gardening, when I think about 2A, when I think about survival, when I think about life in general, I look at the state of the world and I think about some of the conversations that we have in these as a collective on this platform, on different channels, different great conversations, different great ideas. Then I realized that we probably 0.000000.1.00003% of the greater society. It's like I don't think enough people are. Now I do think people starting to wake up, but I don't think people are hurting bad enough. I don't think people not reeling the way that they did during the Dust Bowls. People are not real in the way that they did during the Great Depression. People not real in the way that they did during some of the most transformative periods in our country's history. And of the 4 things listed, it make me wonder how many people have tasted any of that yet? How many people have tasted what it's like to go to bed hungry? How many people have tasted what it's like to wonder how you gonna pay this next bill? How many people have tasted fresh food?
Yeah.
We talking about gardening, we talking about all of this. I don't know. That man hit us with some questions, stepped away. You went first, gave me some time to contemplate a little bit, but I think it's getting there, and I see, which is equally for me personally as eye-opening, and I won't say scary, but it's something about it that intrigues me because I'm starting to see people wake up to things that I never thought I would see certain people wake up to. So,
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you, both of y'all, both of y'all, to my left, right, bottom, however y'all see him on the screen, have got me growing tomatoes and cucumbers. I'm gonna tell you something. Never in my wildest, and I'm hype about it. Like I'm legit geeked up about growing some tomatoes and some cucumbers. Yeah, to the point where when
yes,
I look and they look like they were drooping one day, I'm like, not my babies. You know, y'all done got y'all y'all done got me invested in this, and I
that's
cannot
what's up.
wait to taste my own fresh tomato. I can't wait.
That's
See,
what's up, bro.
that's what's happening because last summer was the first year I gardened. And being able to take my son out there
Yeah,
and have him pick green beans.
yeah,
And y'all heard this story. He's sitting there saying, "We can eat these, Dad?"
yeah.
Yeah,
I said,
I
"Yeah.
remember that. You saying that.
Now let me show you what we have to do with them before we eat them." Took them in the house. We washed them. I taught him how to snap beans because my grandmother taught me how to snap
Nice.
green beans because that's how those are only green beans I knew that grew in their garden.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And he sat there and ate those and he was like, "Dad, these are the best green beans I've ever had in my life."
yeah.
And I said, "Yeah,
yeah.
wait till next year." So, folks, in the present, right now, we're being forced to change, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
Facts.
And as my mom used to always tell me, you can either change for the better or you can change for the worse. The decision is yours.
True.
Yep, yep.
So to go back to the past, why not change with the understanding and the concept that there has to be a we?
Gotta be a we.
Yes.
Gotta be a we. And while we up here, while we on this panel, since you brought up the present, in the present, I'm being told that Mother Earth is doggone near ready for the scrapyard, and I'm saying maybe she might need a new transmission or something. Maybe she needs some new rings or something. I see some white smoke coming out the tailpipe. She might need
Right,
to have some new head gaskets put in her. But baby, you
right.
telling me Mother Earth, like I was in a in a live earlier. My good friend, she actually in the chat in the panel. I mean in the chat right here, and she was
Mhm.
had made recognition to a water issue that actually happened in November, and it's just now starting to come out publicly. And then we got into a conversation about Fukushima and all of that. I was actually in that part of the world at the time, right? So
Okay.
I'm hearing people spending figures of money that don't even of currency that don't even exist yet, so we can go check out the third moon of Jupiter. And you telling me we can't afford to fix what we got right here? You want to send baby to the scrapyard? Come on,
Oh,
man.
hold
Hold,
on. Time out.
hold on.
Time out.
Whoa,
Time
Time
out.
out.
hey,
Time out. Time out.
Drew.
Drew,
Drew.
hey, woo, yo, congrats, whoa,
Listen, but I'm gonna tell you something, and
yes.
and 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 I'm gonna say this real quick before you say anything, Trent, because I know you got time out on the flag on the play. But this is the reason why we wanted to do this on your channel. That is the reason.
Absolutely,
That is the reason.
yes,
That
bro.
right there is the reason.
Drew, thank you on
That's
behalf
beautiful.
of not just my channel and myself, but to this amazing community. This is why these brothers up here are a priority to me, and they both know anything they need that I can
Likewise.
help with. All they got to do is ask.
Likewise.
I've never told
Likewise.
them no, never.
Likewise, bro.
And Drew, I thank you. I thank you, Drew. That's all I can say. Thank you. I appreciate you, Drew.
That's
You
dope.
just don't know.
Yes,
You
sir.
just don't know. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'm trying to move on, but the humbleness within me won't let me move on. Okay, I'm gonna say that because this is the type of community that is going to take to survive what is coming, people.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Facts.
I'll say this. If you think that the price of success and survival, and when I say success, meaning whatever you consider successful, okay? If the price of success is too high, wait till you get the bill for regret.
Hold
Ooh.
on, wait. Now,
Ooh,
now,
come
now,
on, man.
now, now, hold on. Now see, y'all about to
Come
make
on,
me
bro.
hit my Kevin Hart. We ain't gonna just pass by what you just said, like you ain't say what you just said. I'm gonna need you to say it one more time, Vision.
we got to talk about that, bro. You can't drop that and walk away now. Yes.
I'm here.
Yes.
How many things in our lives in the chat that you regretted either doing or not doing, and it's still haunting you? A year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, could be 30 years down the line. It's still haunting you.
Mm-hmm.
That is the bill for regret.
Mm-hmm.
And I know everybody has a budget. And I tell anybody, you prep for yourself and your family, whatever it takes. Okay. You have to list your priorities. That's why I've been on the mental preparedness. You got to think, take the time to think, what do I need today? What do I need to get?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're right, Dan. You right.
Yeah. I saw that
Yeah,
comment. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That humbles me
Mm-hmm.
because it ain't about me at the end of the day, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
My list of what is important and filling my holes in I'm gonna share this.
Go ahead, Vision. Go ahead.
My F-150 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago. Dead. DOA. Okay? Did what I do because I'm prepared. Now, the preface to that is I've always had more than one vehicle my entire life. Okay? Until now. Because I took advantage of the climate and sold one of my cars. Didn't want to, but I knew now is the time
Mm-hmm.
to get what I wanted out of it and then some. So I did. Anyway, my F-150 died 3 weeks ago, left me with no vehicle. Fortunately, I work from home, so that wasn't no big deal. You know, wherever I needed to go, I got friends and family I could get to and from. And then it hit me. I was in the middle of the night one night sitting there saying, what if there's an SHTF event right now and I got to go get my mom and bring her back to my house? Because that's part of my plan and she knows it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm screwed. So, and y'all know that know anything about me and have been on my channel and saw me, I've been on the hunt for a new truck.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason why I was late today, folks, is because I went and bought me a new truck.
Yes, sir.
And I was literally doing 80 miles an hour to get back home so we could do this live stream. Joe texts me and says I text him back, and then I called him. He called me back. I said, bruh, I'm on the highway doing 80 miles an hour. I'll be home in about 15 minutes, which should have took me 20. And I said, we're going to do the live stream. I'm going to be a few minutes late, but I just bought my new truck and I'm on my way.
Yes, sir.
Do what's important, folks. Stop procrastinating, because what's coming down the pike in Jay African Dreaming, we've talked about this. What we're getting ready to see, I can't tell you what it is, but I can tell you this. We have never seen it before in our life.
Yes.
Now, and again, Drew, thank you, bro. That's I
And now this is the funny thing. Everyone else on the panel has experienced that first 99 hit. That thing will break you down. And
change your life a little bit.
Jay. So to be able to be here and watch your first one, Vision, within itself, outside of the panel, outside of the conversation, is an absolute privilege. And that's what this community is about. We are developing a group of like-minded individuals that recognize whatever is done helps everyone, because that $99 goes into content, it goes into life-saving information, it goes into life-saving equipment. And it's the same thing with African Dreaming. It's the same thing with me. These things allow us to do more, to be able to help more. And within itself is a privilege, to know that someone appreciated you enough to say, I'm going to give you this because I know what I'm going to get back, and what everyone else is going to get back is far more valuable than that monetary amount.
That's it, bro. That's it. That's it. It's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. And you know, we wouldn't be here if we didn't know Vision already. Man, it's no way that any of that contribution is not finna help somebody beyond himself. Y'all know that. I know that. Joe know that. We all know that.
That's true.
We all know that.
Yeah. 100% of it. I'll never see. Somebody else will, but I won't.
Yeah. And you know, me and just to show how real this is about helping and not knowing what y'all, so many people over on my channel have helped. When I say changing lives, you know, helping send children to school and buying books and doing stuff like this. That is one of the most selfless things you can do, because you don't get nothing out of it directly. But you never know with this training and with them tourniquets. You don't know who it could end up helping save the life of somebody you know. Yeah. The universe work like that. The world work like that, man. It work in mysterious ways. So you just never know how things can go. I'm just happy right now, man.
Me too.
You and me both. I'm happy and humbled. And yes, Dan, my foot Cadillac game is on point. And if need be, that's my backup to the backup to the backup, because I ain't too proud to walk nowhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, as Taylor Reed said, just a PSA, everyone should get an IFAC, learn how to use it, and carry it everywhere you go. You never know when you might need it. Taylor?
Facts.
You are absolutely correct. And Folks, everybody should take a Stop the Bleed course. They're free. Find one. Learn how to use a tourniquet. Learn how to pack a wound. Because this goes back to the mental preparedness. Are you able to patch up a loved one or a friend when they have a bullet hole in their body?
Yep.
And I'm going to take that even another step. Are you prepared mentally to use that Freedom Seed dispenser that's in the drawer on your nightstand without hesitating to defend yourself or your family? That's the things we need to be mentally prepared for. And I know we definitely can't prepare for it all, but you got to have that mindset that you're thinking about. Get medical supplies. And I'm not just talking, the chest seals and the VFAC kits, because that's what we have here at Vision Preparedness, which should be coming to market next month. And for those of you coming to the Bug Out Weekend, you're going to see the preview of a new product that we're bringing to market. And I only say that because my brothers tell me that I don't promote myself and my channel enough. So there you go.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
I'm glad you did too, man. Yeah.
Get all of the over-the-counter medications you can, because there's going to be a time when you can't get them.
Yeah.
I didn't say if. I said there is going to be.
Yeah.
Medical first aid, that is life-saving and very important. Go ahead, Jay.
I just want to say, while you on this topic, while you're on this subject matter, can we all admit that from recent events, because people been barking up this tree for years, I've said it in several lives, I'm gonna keep saying it. Vision and I done talked about it. Hell, Joe and I done talked about it. Baby, we don't know what money finna look like next year, next week, let alone next year.
Yeah.
Having these things tangible in your possession, under your care, custody, and control. I don't give a doggone if it's an ibuprofen or an IFAC or a can of bean and weenies, some Vienna sausage. You might want to acquire some things that are tangible and readily available and usable, while your purchasing power is what it is, which retreats all of us on a daily basis. That's just something to think about. Because an I said this earlier in a live, my good sister who in the chat. Look here, y'all. A $500 or $1,000 investment in some solar panels, be it batteries, the system, the what, all the components.
Yeah.
Right here this month in 2023, we don't know what that might get you a half a battery. That might get you a battery that can start a 150cc motorcycle come next year. Do y'all see what's going on? Do y'all see what's happening? Do you hear what this man is telling you? Get things that you can use, because what you can use might actually end up being priceless come next month.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Joe, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add. I mean, because when you face certain situations like what Trent references, having that top shelf great can of sardines, that can do a lot for your mindset.
Hey,
y'all already know how to win me over, baby. Don't come at me with no sardines now.
Yeah, and the other thing, and I had a guy in one of my lives was asking about how to preserve hard candy, because in a stressful situation, candy, cake, cookies, everything, it can settle down, especially if you have kids, even me,
Mm-hmm.
piece of candy
Yeah,
will change your attitude and fix it in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
facts,
And I told him, I
facts,
said, dude, throw that hard candy in a vacuum seal bag, vacuum seal it, set it on the shelf, and leave it alone.
facts,
Mm-hmm.
facts,
And
facts.
stack it.
Just
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
stack it. And Vision, I want to say something else. We had because when me and you were talking, something hit me after we got off the phone. I was thinking,
Uh-huh.
and this may now I'm on the other side. We on the other side of the planet. This may be more applicable to people who live in another country and got they got family in the Caribbean or something. They may have family in Australia. Hell, I don't know where your family might be, but you might also have family in other states. Y'all have a plan. Have a
Mm-hmm.
plan two ways. Either you gonna hold the fort down where you at and you gonna secure whatever it is you've acquired and you ready to defend that area to your last breath, or
Right.
be flexible and be willing to say, well, most of my family over in you could be out in California, you from Texas. What if I can't use I-10? What if I
Mm-hmm.
can use
Mm-hmm.
them backways coming through Nevada and down? Think about this stuff. Have a plan, because it ain't a day I wake up. I'm not saying under stress or nothing like that, but hell, I'm in East Africa. What if
Right.
me and my wife say, okay, everything here good. We done did what we done did. Something happened. The wrong thing happened, and we need to get back to the States. I was telling Vision, man, we at a point now where we gonna have to start really building on both fronts, because we have land. We got land here, and we got land in Texas. Our parents getting older. Our
Mm-hmm.
family getting older. People passing away. Life is real. Life keep happening. Have more than one spot where you throwing all your eggs in that basket, baby, because you don't know which basket gonna get full quick and which one gonna run out the first. You know what I'm saying? So just keep all things in mind.
Now that reminds me of a phrase that I heard, and it's not a new phrase, but if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. And
Mm.
That's
you, I'm,
correct.
because literally everything that we're discussing right now, life has taught us without a plan,
Yes,
your
sir.
percentage of success is drastically reduced.
That's
Are there
right.
going to be certain situations where you can fly by the seat of your pants and everything work out? Yes. Sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
may end up in a field of roses and all that other good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But 9 times out of 10, if you don't have a plan, you end up in a cow pie,
Yeah.
because
Come on now.
it's just
Right.
how it
Come on.
goes.
Come on.
So these things that we're
Yeah.
discussing, from the simplest areas of your life to the most complex areas of your life, are you planning to have a plan in case something doesn't go
Yep.
right?
That's it, bro. That's it.
That's it.
That's
So
it.
we got another question from Mad Shad, one of my
Okay.
amazing moderators. He said, question to each on the panel. What is your advice on being of service to yourself and to others?
I'll go if y'all ain't ready.
Go right ahead.
Um,
Hey, yeah. I want to be of service to folk as much as folk let me be of service to them. I'm at a point in my life where I'm not finna fight you. I will, just like Trent do all the time, just like Joe do all the time, just like we do on our channel. I will provide you with information, but I ain't finna try to make you drink it, baby. I'm over it. Matter of fact, you not absorbing it readily and picking up what I'm putting down is enough for me to say I love you. You have a good day, but I ain't even trying to rock with you like that. If not, not that you have to agree with me on everything I say, or agree with Vision, or agree with Joe, but baby, you already got to be there halfway. I'm not meeting people at the 10-yard line, the 20-yard line. I'll meet you at the 50, and that's it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be of service. I want to help, but the whole pulling and convincing and all that, I'm past that stage of life, man. I need to see you buying seeds and maybe growing corn. See, how fast you can. Do you have a speed loader? Um,
Ooh,
how you feel about canning? How you feel about getting out here and using the come along so we can pull this deer up and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well,
That's where I'm at.
and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna borrow this phrase from Jay at African Dream. We don't get in grown folks' business, and I'm gonna tell you, it, and
Yes.
but it's so true because
It is.
you a grown man, you a grown woman, you have lived as long as you have lived, and by ratio of comparison, you have just as much knowledge of life as I do.
Facts.
Who am
Facts.
I to tell you what to do? And we did a whole live stream on my channel because you can lead a horse to the water,
Yeah.
but if that horse ain't thirsty, you can't make that horse drink.
Right.
So you know what I mean?
Go ahead. Yeah. I'm gonna hit you on the head with this one. This fell right in line. Y'all must have been reading my notes.
Jay, what's happening, Jay? What's happening?
Right now, somebody's mad at you right now
Mhm.
because we, us choose peace
Yes.
over drama and distance over disrespect.
Come on,
Ooh,
but woo,
ooh.
man, you
But now I'm
like
gonna tell you something, and look, Trent, Vision. I don't forgot where we at. First, listen, I'm gonna tell you, but listen, you came locked and loaded, but I'm gonna tell you
yeah, he
this.
did. Yeah, he did.
Um,
Mhm.
it takes a true man or a true woman to
Mhm.
understand life because
Hmm.
it,
Yeah.
we passed the kindergarten phase, and
Yes.
me and Jay have had conversations about this. If something go down, you don't need me in your corner
Mhm.
because you a grown man, you got a wife, a whole family, you in a whole nother country, you handling your business.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there reaches a point where there has to be a mutual understanding of
Mhm.
intelligence. Because see, the
Right.
definition of
Right.
insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If you're doing the
Hmm.
same thing that you did at 66, and expecting a different
Ooh,
result, you tell me what that
ouch,
is.
Kibibble. Ouch,
Because I
Kibibble.
can't tell you. But
Yes,
I'm just
sir.
saying. So something has to change.
Mhm.
And once you realize that the biggest thing you can do to help we is being the best you that you can be, is the
Exactly.
time when things change. Because if I spend all of my time trying to convince everybody to understand the concept of we, but I lose me in the process, and now I don't understand this concept, who have I
Mhm.
really helped?
Nobody.
Hmm.
Nobody.
Hmm. Life taught me a long time ago, never work harder than somebody you trying to help. I don't care if it's changing a tire, changing a
Yes.
motor, helping
See?
them change their shoe.
Yes.
Don't work harder than nobody you trying to help. And then you look up, you down there sweating and then got dirty, soiled yourself, and got your tie over your shoulder because you don't want your tie getting messed up, and they sit back with their arms folded like you almost you doing good. You doing, baby. No, no, not no more. I don't figured that game out, baby. No, sir. Uh-uh.
Yeah. Absolutely. And with that, I'm gonna y'all brothers, y'all see, y'all make me. We're gonna be on here all night because
Hey, look, who came with notes? You started it.
I did.
Hey,
Because
he did start it.
I knew I had to with y'all because y'all bring the heat and you bring truth and
Likewise.
you make everybody stand up where they want to stand up or not. Here's another thing. And with all what we just said, you said don't work harder helping nobody else than yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you learn to survive without anyone, you can thrive helping anybody.
Woo!
Ooh.
Woo! Come on. He on fire tonight now. He on fire tonight.
Where the emoji in the chat? Like Trent coming through. Shots fired. Shots fired.
If you want to be a lone wolf in crisis, that's okay. I get it. That's your thing. But I guarantee you, when crisis rolls around, although I'm very capable of protecting me and mine, I want Jay, I want Joe, I want Paul, I want Mad Shad, I want everybody.
Facts.
That we can come to collectively and not only survive, but thrive.
That's
because
it.
we can all do it better together than individually.
Hey, Vision, can you do me a favor? RJ Funches at 719 made a comment, and because that's
that
it.
George Foreman. That's
it
that
right
George
there.
Foreman left uppercut, bruh.
Yeah.
That's why he hit harder than Mike Tyson.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and you know me, I like to take that a step further. How can you help someone when you can't help yourself?
Correct.
Because this is the thing.
Yes.
I can't give you what I don't already possess. So I understand the concept of we, but I also understand that improving individually allows me to bring more to the table so that we can all benefit from it. Because if I'm sitting over here depending on everybody else that's part of the we to make me better, then it's the same thing that Jay just mentioned. I might as well be watching somebody else change my tire.
Right.
But because what am I contributing to the situation?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's okay. If you're watching somebody else change your tire, that tells me two things. You humbled yourself and you asked for help.
Yep. That's one way. Yep.
Yeah.
And you're learning in the process.
That's it.
There you go.
You just killed 3 birds with 1 stone.
And see, this is where it gets tricky because from the situation that Jay described, someone that had the ability to change their tire chose not to watch someone else do it. But from what you described, Vision, someone that didn't know how needed help. So it requires a certain level of discernment upon us to understand which category somebody falls in. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Once I know you fall in that category that Jay was talking about, hey, hands off, laissez-faire.
Yeah.
I wash my hands because I can't help you. But if you're in the situation that Vision described and you genuinely need help, and I know you're going to take that knowledge to help somebody else, I get down there by myself all day long and change that whole tire. I ain't got a problem with it.
Right.
Because 2 things can be true. 2 things can be true, Joe. Like the example I had, what Vision said, both things can be true. And something else the Vision alluded to before you said what you just said, Joe. Now, that's why it's so important to build cohesion, to build a community before things get bad, before you have to go to your wits end. And who want to be out here? I'm gonna tell you something, and because you said something about being that lone wolf, bro.
Yeah.
Especially for people, this what I heard, this what I had heard, especially for folk who let's say let's say you infantry, any form of combat arm, you might be.
I knew it.
I'm just saying, y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah. Here's the comeback, Joe. Here's the comeback. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like you know, being a scout sound real fun until you see
Mhm.
what they go through by themselves. Everybody
Right.
want to go to seer school until you see what they go through by themselves. Like
Mhm.
maybe that's your personality, but it ain't mine. I don't think it's fun. I think, like Joe alluded to earlier, we need each other. We are as human beings born for a certain social like collective that we being trained and we being led away from it. But y'all, who wants to be out there going through the thick of it by themselves? That's gotta be most of the worst feelings that any human could imagine. Hell, I done seen people get just freak out. You ever got lost in a mall by yourself, or you ever got lost at a concert or at a football game and you came as a group? And I'm
Yeah.
talking because I'm old enough, I'm showing my age back before everybody had cell phone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You ever you had found yourself in that situation where all you can do is try to find where the car parked and hope
Yeah.
everybody meets you there? Baby,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
a lonely, scary, hard feeling. Now think about being in the it hit the fan situation, and
Yep.
you out here roaming around, poking and prodding through this world by yourself without nobody you can trust because you was doing it alone before
Mm-hmm.
everything went down. Shh, out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Right.
sorry, Trent. You got me in my feelings. You too, Joe. It's y'all fault.
That's good. I don't care. And I ain't taking it back.
And I ain't taking it back.
And on top of that, I'm gonna drop this on y'all and let y'all let it lay where it falls.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Why wise and insight for man and or woman, man and a woman. It takes suffering to get wisdom.
Whew.
It's costly and it don't come cheap.
Whew.
What but see, this is the thing. Insight is looking into a situation and
Mm-hmm.
seeing the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom is applying the insight and the knowledge that you already have. You
Mm-hmm.
have a
Yep.
lot of insightful people that still make silly decisions
Right.
because they lack wisdom.
Yes.
And when you have experienced something, i.e., that suffering that you mentioned, Vision, the wisdom is I don't want to experience it, and I don't want anyone that I care about to experience it. So I'm going to share my knowledge to give them insight ahead of time so that hopefully they will have the wisdom to do what I didn't do.
Right.
Come on now. Come on. Come on. Like I said the other night when we were talking, when we decided we solidified we want to do this live, I said it then and I meant it now. The graveyard is
Oh,
the biggest and best library on the planet.
I ain't got no pearls, but I'm gonna clutch my church.
me too.
I clutch it. I clutch it. I'm telling y'all, family, the graveyard is where all this knowledge and history and truths and secrets and all of that is just taken away because somebody said they're gonna take it with them. Every day I wake up hopefully a little bit wiser, and I want to share a little bit more because you get past the phases of life where it's like I'm gonna keep this to myself. I know
Mm-hmm.
this, so I'm gonna keep this so I can try to milk it or get something out of it or be the only one who know it. Baby, it ain't nothing new under the sun. Everybody might
Mm-hmm.
not be hip to what you hip to at the moment, but that don't mean somebody else ain't thought about it first. That's what I love about both of you two. Joe, when you drop your tech knowledge, man, I'm Vision, when you out here freely giving information, telling people, showing people, dropping gems, dropping knowledge on how to save lives. I sit over here and just shake my head like, well done. Well done, gentlemen. That
Thank you.
encourages me
Thank
to
you.
tell and share as much as I can so I can be a part of that because I can't take it with me. When it
Mm-hmm.
comes to what you can take with you, everybody think about that Jaguar that Benz or that house or that real pretty brooch that your great grandma gave you. You can't take that, but you can't take this knowledge with you either. So give it to somebody else while you got a chance. See, y'all got me in my feelings again.
And I'm gonna tell you something. To Trent's left, in the back of the screen is a door. Pride is that door. When you have pride, it closes. And when that door closes, nothing else can enter. There are so many people that want to be a chief. I don't want to be an Indian because I got pride, because I'm this. And
Come on now.
But I'm going to tell you something. Let that pride close that door when you need somebody. You ain't got nothing there. Because everybody, oh, you said you were a chief last week. Why you need me for? You got to be willing to listen.
Yes. Hey, what he just said that too, what Shad said.
Yeah.
Vision, can you go back to that real quick if you don't mind, bro?
Yes.
A true master is a lifelong student. When I tell y'all, I can't say enough that the longer I live and the more I learn, the less I realize I knew. How you gonna live every day and not learn something new and didn't know that it was more out there to be known? That's a dangerous place to be. That's a dangerous way to live. That's a dangerous encounter to place upon yourself, feeling like you've reached a point or a precipice in this realm of existence where you got it all figured out, learning done stop, life done stop. You just know it. You just know it. Keep on living.
Yeah.
Keep on living, baby.
Just keep on living.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Paul said, I got to ask, are we in a time warp here today? And it's Sunday, not Saturday. For the pulpit has definitely been raised and lifted with all the knowledge, healing, and thoughts tonight. Paul, you know you my guy. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yes. And now with that, I'm going to drop this.
Ooh.
For everybody that has been trying to tell somebody or some bodies to start preparing, and they look at us like we're crazy. And y'all can write this down.
Get it.
You don't belong anywhere where they don't recognize you leaving.
Ooh, that one had it.
People, I'm not done. If people cannot appreciate your presence, they deserve your absence.
Boy, see, I'm gonna tell you something. This man, first of all, see, y'all know how I do. The first thing I gotta do before I can answer, I just gotta say, yes, yes, yes,
yes,
gracious, boy. But I'm gonna
Facts.
tell you, we spend life so often as a collective trying to make our environment fit us instead of fitting in our environment.
Correct. The educated natural, thank you for dropping in. I got to give mad shout outs and props to her because she's all over the place, doing everything and handling her business.
Dropping knowledge.
What's up, Tim?
Good
you
to
already
see
know it, Kim.
But Joe, you're right.
Because if I'm in a situation, and see that goes, see this is how this whole thing comes together. If I'm in a group of people and they say that they appreciate me, but like what you said earlier, Vision, I can tell by their body language and the things that aren't being said that they don't appreciate me.
Right.
It's foolish of me to go by the words and not by the actions.
Come on, Joe.
Waste time in an environment that is not fit for me. I am better off to pack my bags and go to an environment where I am appreciated, I am respected, and I am somewhere that I belong.
Right.
Yes.
And for those in the
Facts,
chat,
bro.
and I've seen this throughout because I glance, but don't try not to get sucked in. And I heard a response. One, and I don't know who it was. I can't remember who said it, but they said, I don't have anybody. We were talking about groups and people.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that
And
too. I saw
Yeah,
that.
and I,
Too. Yeah.
yeah, and I forget who said to them. They said to them, "You're right here in the chat.
Gina
This
versus
this
Gina.
is your first step."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, folks,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna drop another one on y'all. And when I say all this stuff, this is what kept me up the other night after I was talking with Jay on the phone. Okay, till 4:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
The top of one mountain is the bottom of the next mountain. Keep climbing.
Boy.
Okay.
Jay, go ahead. Go ahead, Jay.
This man coming with him tonight now, and
Yeah.
the reason that what he just said is so true in my estimation from my lived experience. It took a while. I say it was somewhere around maybe off in my early 30s. No, I'm gonna say my mid to kind of mid 30s. Things kept happening in life, and life kept whooping up on me. But all that pride, those teens and that 20s, I thought I had a point of completion where life was everything was gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
All I needed was the right job. All I needed was the right car. All I needed was the right house. And then life said, "You better keep on climbing. It don't
That's right.
stop. You
That's
ain't
right.
took your last breath yet. You better
That's
keep
right.
on climbing because every peak got a valley. And when you get in that valley, either you gonna stay in that valley or you got to climb all over again, baby. So you might as well put your cleats on. Put your cleats on.
And
Go
I'm
ahead,
gonna
bro.
tell you,
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna tell you this. You take a minnow in a creek, they are the top of the ecosystem. But you let that minnow enter a lake, and here comes a big mouth bass. And all of a
Ooh.
sudden, no longer am I at the top echelon. I'm a peon. I went from the top of the echelon to a peon. Now you take that same bass fish, let them go in the
Yes,
ocean.
sir.
First of all, they're gonna die because they ain't equipped for salt water. But second of
Come
all,
on.
you let that great white get a hold to them. They don't care whether they can breathe in the water or not. They is food. There are
Yes, sir.
levels to this thing. And if we ever get to the point where we think we are at the top of the level, look to your right. There's another level.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Come on,
Hey,
man.
That's it.
Yeah. All facts. All facts.
But we got Vision rubbing his head. Boy, I'm trying to tell you. Look at this.
Hey, it's real like that, man. These conversations are necessary, bro. They
Yes, sir.
necessary because you never know who they helping. We all out here going through in some way, shape, form, or
right.
fashion. It's easy to turn on the TV and feel like there go my next goal. Or see somebody else in your neighborhood on your job, there go my next goal. Baby, you your own biggest competition. You
That's
need
it.
And there she go, Gina. You need to be versing yourself, trying to be your best you, and you might want to get some bottled water and sardines and a couple of solar panels and a first aid kit or 3, and she.
Now, to back what you just said, Gina versus Gina is not too far from me.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
right.
she asked about the bug out weekend. She said, "Do I have to stay the whole weekend?" I said, "No. Come on over on Saturday, spend the day, and learn something."
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
I saw a registration from Gina versus Gina. Come on over. You ain't got to spend the weekend or the night. Come over for the day. Ask questions about what you're doing. I watched her live and they were talking about prepping. And they were talking about she don't know this and that. And I'm literally doing this. Because I wanted to jump in and help and come up on the panel with everybody else. And I was like, nope, bro, stay in your lane. Or because, you know, I'm a movie guy, I threw out the line, stay on the path. It's not my concern.
Right.
Ooh.
So, Gina, I will see you at the Bug Out Weekend, and there will be literally tons of people that can answer your questions. And I guarantee you, you will not walk away with not an answer to any of your questions.
Nice.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So there it is.
That's beautiful.
Always.
Hey, take care, Devil Dog. Take care, bro.
Take care.
That's what's up, man.
Folks, we've been on here how long? 2 hours and 15 minutes and counting.
Yes, we have.
And it look, and it don't even feel like 15 minutes. It don't even feel like 15 minutes.
It doesn't.
At all.
Here it is. I'm going to say this. Some of y'all may know what I'm talking about when I say this. And Amber Angel's truth, you're absolutely right, because what I'm saying now is the righteous man falls 7 times. But the fact is not how many times he fell.
Vision?
The fact is that every time that man or woman fell, they got back up. And most people on this planet talk about you failed 7 times. And people that I see, I say, so what? Each time I fell, I got up, I learned, and I went farther. And if you don't believe me, folks, look it up in the book. It's Proverbs 24:16. Read it.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you something.
See, now y'all got me beyond my feelings, and this is gonna turn into what I literally told myself wasn't gonna happen. But guess what, baby? It's getting ready to go that way because it's
let it go.
Now I'm gonna tell you this. You can have a bird land on your head with a twig, but that don't mean that you allow that bird to make a nest. You see what I'm saying? So you can fall, but are you gonna let the grass grow over you? Are you gonna have a pity party? Because last I checked, we all make mistakes.
Yes, we do.
Now, the situation and the way that the mistake happened may cause a greater gravity that comes with it. But as Jay would say, baby, listen, we all gonna make mistakes. So if you ain't willing to get up, how can you say you've learned from the mistake?
Right. You can't get up unless you learn.
Yeah.
That's it, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
Right,
That's
Joe.
it. That's it, Joe. For like real talk. We before we got over here, literally the night, a few hours before we got on the plane, decisions made, tickets bought, stuff gone. We donated stuff, sold some other stuff. Me and my wife prayed together. Cause a lot of things go through your mind. How in the heck, how you finna go over to another on the other side of the world and start a business and do this and do that and finna encounter stuff you don't know what. What if we fail? That's something that went through both of our minds. What if we fail? You know the conclusion I came to? I can't. We can't. I got you and you got me, and as long as we going under the intentions and the pretenses that we going under, baby, it ain't no such thing as failure. I tried. You can't never take a try and turn it into a
Yes.
failure. You can turn it into a redo. You can turn it into a do-over. You can turn it into a do again. But you can't never call it no failure, baby, because I did something that a lot of us sometimes don't want to do. I'm not talking about coming over here. I'm talking about in life in general.
Right.
When you put that one foot in front of the other one and say, I'm moving in this direction, it ain't no taking that away from you.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have some faith. You got to step out there and you got to do whatever it is your intentions is on doing. It could be your own business. It could be it could be getting prepared.
Yes.
Some people gonna go through some things with their spouses and with their family when it comes to this whole lifestyle thing about being prepared.
Right.
That's a whole nother issue, but it's the same issue because it's there to be done. You can't stop. You just can't stop. You can't stop. You got to keep going, man. Smiles.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
well.
was reading. I was reading.
I'm gonna leave that right there. That's all I'm gonna say. I see you and hear you, Paul, and thank you. And I'm gonna leave that right there.
That's dope. That's dope. Something to think, something to
For
think
sure.
about.
Right, Dad. You learn every time we fall, we learn something, and we get up and we keep moving. You know, y'all see, these are the kind of people that you and I'm talking about Jay and Joe. Y'all are in my circle of people, even though we have never physically met.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Because of technology, we have become good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if folks, if y'all think y'all don't have nobody,
Facts.
Look,
Facts.
man, I'm telling, and see, this is the thing. We've been talking about humans, and we've been talking about this need for belonging to something, because all of us need to be pushed in a positive direction. And so much of our time we spend finding the right group that is going to push us without ill gain in mind. Someone
Yep.
that genuinely wants to see you be better for no other reason than the fact that they want to see you be better. And when you
That's it.
find that, that's what you got to hold on to, as Jay would say, because
That's it,
those
bro.
are the people that really matter. Because the time is going to come when we will break bread. The time is
oh
going
yeah,
to come when we will play golf. The time, like, there's a lot of things that are going to happen,
yeah,
but if you can't appreciate this part right now, how will you ever truly appreciate anything more?
correct.
That's it, bro. Facts. All facts, bro.
As my grandmother used to tell me, and it took me 30 years to understand what she meant. She used to always tell me, be careful who you break bread with.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yes, sir.
And I'm not going to go
Absolutely.
into detail about it because it
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
true and it's deep.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
folks, be careful who you let in your circle. Okay?
Woo.
That part.
Be
Yes,
careful
sir. Yes, sir.
because sometimes that sheep is disguised as a wolf.
Go ahead now, Vision. Listen.
And they're not really there to see you succeed because they're there to help orchestrate your downfall.
Look, oh, see,
And that,
He on one. He on one.
Vision, I don't know what's in your cup, bro, but tonight, tonight, listen,
He on fire.
I ain't. you don't know, you don't know that person until it's too late. So
Mm-hmm.
there is nothing wrong with vetting people. Vetting people does not make you a bad person. It
Right.
At
simply
all.
means that you have standards. And I need
Yeah.
to know who you are because it's taken me all my life to develop this circle. And I can't
Yes,
let
sir.
just anybody in because I can't allow
Right.
you to undo my life's work.
Correct.
That's it, bro. That's it. And you know what, Joe? I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. You look here now. You can take it for what you want to take it for. Uh, we've been talking about my man Vision been talking about George Foreman tonight. Y'all been talking about uppercut, but I'm gonna tell you something. Somebody else said. Everybody who help you ain't your friend, and everybody you fight ain't your
Come
enemy.
on. Come on.
You, you, I'm just saying, life will do you
Truth.
like that, man. It's for
Yes.
it happens. It happens, and it's okay to have discernment with who you let in your circle, how close you get to people, because the vetting process is difficult in this space and in these spaces. But baby, it's better to do it now
Yep.
than later, because you
True.
don't want to have to pick apart and try to dissect people in an already traumatic experience and circumstance and environment. Here, you'll find yourself trusting anybody out of desperation. Mm-mm.
Yes. And
Vet
old
people
Mutt
now.
said it best. We need more sheepdogs willing to protect others.
And
And that's it. There you go.
that's where that we comes in
Yes.
because we all take turns protecting each other.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You got to
And
Mm-hmm.
you wait
reciprocate.
till a SHTF event goes down and you got to come collectively. And now, not only do you think you're safe now inside your house, but wait till you have to figure out how to do 24-hour security with 6 people.
Come
Hmm.
on.
And to get in
Come
that
on.
mindset, that's what I'm talking about, folks. Because
Yes.
you're going to have to know 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, forever how long SHTF event lasts, how you going to protect your house, your garden, your people, your food, your water, and everything else you have and think that is precious to you without 24-hour security.
Come on, man.
And
Bruh.
y'all laugh at me when I talk about you mess with my family, I'm blowing up the block. There will be collateral
Mm.
damage, and I mean that. And Triple Threat gets it. She laughs every time I mention it because I physically will blow up the entire block while my family's going that way to get out of
Yes,
harm's
sir.
way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I will burn down the city for my people.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, bro, you need somebody to be there for you because, like you said, 24 hours. If you'd have never been alive, if you've ever been awake for about 28 to
Yes,
36 hours, the world
yes,
start getting loopy. Baby, you can't do this all by yourself. You need somebody. Now,
Yeah.
believe it or not, they allowed me to be in ROTC when I was younger. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. When they send people to NTC before they go overseas, it ain't just to see what the desert feel like. It's more to it than that. It ain't just to do. It's about building cohesion and figuring out who's who before y'all go do this thing together. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
you get to know who's who, how people are when they stressed out, when they at their best, when they at their worst. Um, all of that is people, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ever heard that saying, a drunk man speaks a sober mind?
Hmm.
You know, get to know people now. Start peeping games. Start watching folks. See who you really need in your circle, in your corner, who you really don't need in your circle and in your corner. Because when it all go down, that is in my estimation, the absolute worst time to try and really figure and pick apart who's who and what's what. Cause baby, yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something, Jay. You talking reminded me of a phrase that somebody told me, and I can't remember who told me. They said people are like tea bags. You never know what they're made out of till you put them in hot water.
Ooh, ooh. You got me Lil Jones snapping.
Yeah, I'm gonna play pearls on
Come
that
on,
one
man.
too.
but but it's true. And when you are in a hot water situation, the last thing you want to have to do is worry about the people that are supposed to be with you being with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you understand body language, the things that aren't said in conjunction with the things that are said, how people move in respect to one another, then you begin to realize who you want to be in your close circle. So that when you are
Facts.
in that hot water, you don't have to worry about them because you already know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you're absolutely right. And Chance, I want to address your comment. You're absolutely right. It'll be hard to trust new people during SHTF. That's why we talk about get your people now. Grow your
Now.
community, develop your community now, so that when you see new people, you don't have to succumb to yourself as being a victim trying to take them in because you need them to help you. Y'all can
Yep.
stand there 9 deep pointing whatever you need to point at them and put them through the drill. What do you want?
Yep.
Why are you here? Or you need to move on.
Yep.
And if not, yeah, Tim can go fire up the backhoe, go dig a hole. He
That's
did.
it, man. That's it. That's it. I
You know,
I just
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go
Nah,
ahead,
you
bro.
good. You good. Nah, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is out of the many tragedies that have happened in U.S. history. This is something. This is an idea and a concept that's excuse me. So many people in other lands have either lived through or have recent history of. But for most of my fellow Americans, I'm not trying to take it too far off track, Trent, but I'm gonna say this, man.
Go ahead.
I don't have a lot of pet peeves because I don't get in grown folk business. So what most people say and do really don't bother me
Mm-hmm.
or make me feel some type of way. But when I hear a grown Joe alluded to this earlier when we talking about respect and not leading people, I'm not gonna lead you. I can show you what a water is. I'm not gonna make you drink it. But when I hear grown men and women of sound mind and body say, "Oh, that'll never happen," or "This'll never happen," or "There's no that ain't gonna go." I almost don't know how to. I go inside myself and I don't. It's like I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say or do or think because what else do you need to see as a grown man, a grown woman that affords you that maybe you live in a different space and world from me. How can you fix your mouth to utter the words? Oh, that ain't gonna happen. This ain't. And right now I'm talking about it hit the fan situations. I just don't understand. I don't get it. Maybe y'all can clarify it for me.
Well,
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm gonna put it this way: the impossible becomes possible when it happens.
When it happens.
So
Facts. Facts.
there are things from a positive standpoint that we want to see in our life happen that seemed impossible.
Mm-hmm.
I.e., we're just going to use YouTube for instance. All three of us have reached the point of monetization. Wanting it to happen, working hard for it to happen, is what allowed it to happen. But it was impossible until a channel was started and until hard work was invested in that channel to reach that goal. Because otherwise, it would have never happened. So, if that can happen from a positive aspect of our life, How ignorant of us it would be to assume that the converse of that can't happen from a negative aspect of our life.
Yes.
That part, bro. That part, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
See? Look right there, Drew. I understand Africans, especially where there is an immense amount of patterns. Now, we were talking about this the other day, and I'm going to tell y'all right now.
Let's get
I
it.
don't believe in coincidences. I look at patterns and try to decipher what the pattern is causing.
Exactly.
Period. And if you think, like Jay said, to follow up on it, that this couldn't happen in our lifetime, look what has happened between today, March 18th, 2023, and go back to 2019. If you can't come up with 12 things on a list, you're dead. You ain't lived.
Yeah.
Or you dug a hole and stuck your head in it and tried to ignore it. And same result, you might as well be dead. What time is it?
Yeah.
We've been on here 2 hours and 35 minutes, and y'all trying to get me in real trouble tonight.
We ain't trying to do nothing. We ain't trying to do, man.
Look, how did Jay Jordan say it? Who, me?
Because I'll say this, and this is code. Well, never mind. I'm nope. Everybody in the chat, thank y'all. I got to talk to the chat, because if I talk to these brothers, I'll be on here this time tomorrow. Everybody in the chat, I want to just say thank you for coming to spend time, not only with me, but my two brothers, and I mean this sincerely. If you have not checked out Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek or African Dreaming, I need you to do me a favor. Go to their channel. Watch some content, comment, and tell them I sent you. Tell them I told you to show up over there. If you like what's going on, subscribe to their channel, folks. Because y'all took out time to spend 2 hours and 37 minutes, which 7 of those minutes I was late. So I'm going to give y'all an extra 7 minutes. And I need to thank you two brothers, and we're not leaving, but I just needed to say thank you. And if you have not hit the thumbs up buttons, just smash it for me. And let's just turn the YouTube algorithms on their head just a pinch. Just a pinch.
Just a pinch, man. Just a pinch.
Thank you. Yeah. That's where I got it from. Just enough that YouTube says, wait a minute. What they doing over there on Vision Preparedness channel? And you know, Zach, you're more than welcome. We're not going just yet, because I'm gonna give y'all 7 more minutes before I get in trouble, and I'm gonna blame y'all too. I'm gonna blame y'all too.
I'll take the blame. I'll take the blame.
I'll take it too, bro. I'll take it.
And those that I'm gonna get in trouble with is, I know, watching the live stream, so they see y'all's face. They see y'all's face. So if they walk up on you, you know, just say, yep, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Okay? Don't harm them, don't hurt them. Because don't hurt them, Hammer, because you don't know what's behind that, okay? So just say, yep, I did it. So with that, folks, if you got any more questions, ask questions. And if not, I'm going to close the questionnaire. But let's talk about the future, guys. And we're going to hit this hard for 7 minutes. And because y'all got me in my feelings. And thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. He said we're showing 41 in the chat now. We got 67 likes. Thank you, Paul.
Nice.
Y'all know I don't do this.
Vision, can I say real quick? I just want to
Yes.
say real quick, y'all. I don't care if we got 7 minutes or 70. Please, everybody in the chat, if y'all don't mind, please go ahead and share this live out. I don't care what the
Yes.
duration of time is left. If we on our last subject or we got 20 more to go, I don't care. Y'all support this brother. Please, please. If you in here, get on your community, share this live out, man. Please share this out. Not
And
for me, not for Joe, for Vision, so everybody can get this work, man.
and
This
and
brother out here doing things.
and I'm gonna say ditto, and I'm gonna also say there is a reason why Vision Preparedness is taking the YouTube platform by storm. Now I don't,
Yes.
because I'm gonna tell you something, and I know you looking at the cabinet vision, and but I'm gonna tell you, bro, the things that are happening here, dare I say, taking it a step further, are not a coincidence. We
At
want to
all.
see you grow, and we are
Yep.
proud to be here on the panel with you. So, because the power in this platform is not always in the live stream, it's in the replay, because the
Mm-hmm.
replays lead to more shares, which creates its own algorithm. So, by
Mm-hmm.
all means, share this thing out. Let's make it blow up. How about that?
Yes. Yes.
Humbly, I say thank you, Joe, and you know that. Y'all know my story. I never started this channel for me, but since y'all always tell me you'll never promote yourself and this, that, and the other, thank you, folks. Share the video out, please. If just
Yes.
one person does that, that's great.
Thank
Zach, to answer your question, yes, I have, but I won't unless I'm forced to. I'll say that. I do have an account over there, so you can jump on that and follow. There's no content, but I'll say this, folks. Why we're having this conversation, number one, is needed. Number two, it was supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a
Fact.
coincidence. This is not fate. And if y'all want me to go down that road, I'll go down that road, but I'm just letting y'all know there's a reason why this happened. And I could
Yeah.
not have done this to the intents and truth and conversation that I could even try to put together. And that's why all I did was say, I need you and I need you. We need to have a conversation, because all three of us have been talking about this on our channel separately.
Mm-hmm.
And these two have been threatening to do a collaboration between the three. And being the senior brother of the group, I had to tell them, look, we need to do this. Give me a date and time. And Joe said, let's next Saturday at 5:15. I'm like, who would pick 5:15 on a Saturday?
Let's do it.
And I said, cool, let's do it. And so here we are.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I truly appreciate y'all, brothers. And folks,
Likewise.
subscribe to their channels. Drop a comment. Tell them I sent you. I said it once. I said it twice. This is the third time. Drop a comment and tell them I told you to come over there. Or I said,
Thank you, bro.
whatever.
Thank you.
So with that, in the 7 minutes that I'm going to give back, let's talk about the future. And no, we not Nostradamus or psychic, or what's that chick's name? Cleo. Call me now. We're not doing that.
Call me now.
Right. We visionaries, and see y'all gonna make me go there and explain why I have the name of my channel that I do, but I'm not today, because that's a whole nother story. Y'all know the story,
Okay.
but that's a whole nother story for another day, for another time, because y'all gonna get me in trouble. Y'all gonna get me in trouble. Future. What? Talk about the future. I'm gonna just throw that out there. I'm not gonna pigeonhole nobody.
So the this is the thing. Regardless of what beliefs you have, um, what is your core and your foundation, we're gonna leave that be because everybody has different beliefs, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But whatever you hold dear is the only thing that will get you through the future. Whatever you hold dear is the only thing that will get you through the future. So my
Facts.
advice to you
True.
is use all 10 fingers and use all 10 toes if you got to. But
Come
what's
on now.
important to you,
Right?
hold on to it because that is what you're going to need.
Facts. Oh.
Oh, he looked at the notepad again.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay. I agree with my brother. And I also, now this is where a little bit of uh where I like to, this is one of them situations where I like to consider myself optimistically pessimistic. And here's why. If y'all will allow me to explain very briefly.
Yes, sir.
As we alluded to over the course of the conversation from other perspectives and other points, I think that things are going to get a lot worse before they get a little bit better. That's just my observation. I think the world is changing at such a rapid pace that it can't keep up with itself. I think that we live in a world where the powers that be and those with the resources to do so would rather see what the rocks are made of on Pluto than invest those resources into desalinization. All
Come
these
on,
big
Jay.
oceans,
Wait,
all
wait.
all these big oceans we got. Desalinization is not impossible. It's just expensive. You know what else is expensive? Going to the moon. But that's a whole nother conversation that we can have at a later time. When I think about the future, I can't help but think about the past and how much of that's been taken away from us. When I think about the future, like Vision and Joe alluded to earlier, I think about how much more difficult it's going to be for the generation after us and the generation after us, because so much of what sustained us as humans is being just chip. They just take a paint. They just take a paint and throw it
Mm-hmm.
away, and then they take another paint and throw it away. And the next thing you know, instead of sitting down to a steak, you swallowing the capsule.
Come on, bro.
Oh,
Bro.
who,
I'm just
ooh,
we just talking about the future. I'm just thinking about the future. And when I
ooh.
think about the future, I think about how much I love having something with a carburetor under the hood than an iPad on the inside. When I think about the future, that's just me. Everybody got
Yeah.
their own. Everybody want their own. You know, they feel how they feel. When I think about the future, sometimes I wonder. I really do sit and wonder uh, if it's gonna be any more fishing for your fish. When I
Mm.
think about the future, it sometimes it stir up something in me, and the old ways. It's scary when I think about the future because man, I sit here and I know you got to go, Trent. I ain't gonna keep busting my chops, but I promise I'm finna
Keep
round
talking,
this up.
bro.
I'm finna
We ain't
round.
in no rush. I hear laughter throughout the cave, so we good.
I just I just can't help but wonder if all of those dystopian type vibes that been put out here in the ether for the past 40 years where everybody kind of tucked away and they're a little dirty and they're, you know, and it's the resistance and all of that. Is that the future? It make you wonder. It make you wonder because anytime you don't just go along to get along, you find yourself in absence of something that either you used to have access to or something of that regard. I think about that when I think about the future. since we talking about the future, I can't help but wonder if I might find myself, because I'm old 70s baby, so I'm in my 40s now, and I sit back and I think, well, am I gonna be able to go out there and look at them goats and them chickens and them cows in the morning while my wife might still be asleep because the sun just barely came up? Or am I gonna be in a real convenient city where I can't go nowhere no more, and I can't have no chickens, I can't have no goats, I can't have no cows no more? It make me wonder about all of that when I think about the future. And I could keep going on and on, but I'm gonna stop because I think we done got to our 7 minutes. So I'm gonna pull back, bro. I'm gonna pull back. But go ahead, brother Trent. Thank you for letting me. Uh, yeah.
Bruh. See, y'all, this is why I get in trouble with these brothers, because I know Jay's rhythm and I hear it. And when he says, when I think of the future, you know, and he keeps saying it, when I think of the I can tell he's there. He is in the zone.
My bad, bro.
He's in his feelings and he's pouring. So that's when I shut up, because I'm just old by pinch to know when you hear something, you close your mouth and you open your ears.
That's it.
And that's why I said there's laughter throughout the cave, because I wanted to hear what you had to say. And on the future.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. I think of my grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
My 4-month-old granddaughter. My 9-year-old grandson. And my 13-year-old grandson. And I wonder if I have taught my 18-year-old son and his 31-year-old sister enough to help them babies to say, this is what dad did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though we didn't always agree with everything that dad did, we understand what dad did now.
Yeah.
And some of the things dad did, we're going to have to do to be able to survive. And then so that my grandchildren survive and thrive, and my great grandchildren that I will never meet. All they will know is great granddad did this
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
For us, folks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there. I don't care. It's written that a wise man prepares for his grandchildren's grandchildren's grandchildren.
Yes.
I will never get to meet them. If I do, I will really be old. To the point where I'm going to say, who your people? Who your mom and daddy? Wait a minute. Who their mom and daddy?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Who's their mom and daddy? Oh, you part of me. Okay. So I had to lighten it up real quick because I was getting ready to jump in the rabbit hole and pull out the backhoe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teach your children how to prepare for the future. Just like we have learned, we have witnessed, or we have heard. Because what's coming down the road is going to be something we have never experienced in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
sir.
And if anything, history has taught us that if we don't prepare, we won't succeed. Regardless of what you're talking about, WW1, WW2, the Great Depression, all of the different pestilences and the things that we've experienced. So that's why I say whatever is important to you, hold on to it. But that holding on is not a passive statement. It's an active statement. Because
Right.
to really hold
Right.
on requires some action. So the things that are important to you, be active in your holding on to, because you will need that action and you will need what you're holding on to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And both of y'all brothers plant seeds knowing that you may not get to enjoy the shade of that tree,
That's right.
but you go out there and you plant them anyway.
See, you.
Yeah. That's real, bro. That's
That is
real,
real.
bro.
That's
Yeah.
real. That is real. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
trying to do. And now I ain't going down that rabbit hole. Our 7 minutes is up. We're gonna go till
Our 7
3.
minutes up, bro.
We got 4 minutes. We got 4 minutes.
Okay.
So, and I think we can then do that in closing, because everybody in the chat, you just don't know my appreciation towards you for spending almost 3 hours hanging out, listening to me babble with my brothers. But it had to be done, and it was done for a reason. I don't know what the reason is, but you do, because you heard it, and whatever it did for you, I hope it helped somebody. So with that, motivation from the weightlifting geek. Closing words, comments, whatever.
I want to say thank you once again, Vision, for having us up here. It has truly been a privilege and an honor. And there are conversations that are had in which every party of the conversation benefits from. There's some conversations where not everybody benefits and not
Right.
everybody leaves happy. But by means of this conversation and the positivity that all of us have tried to exude in our words and in our actions, hopefully everyone leaves feeling positive. Dare I say, feeling prepared? Dare I say, feeling prepared to start preparing? So I just say thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. And this is why we have a community on this platform.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Fact.
And thank you, Joe, for actually, you're the one that first spoke of the collaboration between the three of us. And thank you for holding to that. Because as a man or a woman, at the end of the day, you take away everything, the fancy cars, all the gear, and all the clothes. The only thing we got left is our word.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for always being a man of your word. And Jay, I mean that to you too. That goes both ways to both of y'all. And that's why y'all are in my circle, and you will forever be in my circle. With that, Jay, go ahead. Closing thoughts, comments.
Like Joe said, man, thank you for having us, brother. I'm grateful. I know Joe grateful. Thank you for having us. Thank you to Triple Threat and to the moderators who've been dropping us all night. I'm so grateful for that. I really hope that anybody who's not connected with us, you connect with both Joe and with Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek, as well as myself. Please check out our channels. If you haven't done so already, feel free to subscribe. If you like what you see, stick around. If you don't, ain't no hard feelings.
Right.
And I also really, really I love seeing grown men get together, have adult conversations in a manner of uplifting one another as well as the community, because if I claim that I care about you, or you family, or I like you, or whatever, if I'm not lifting you up, I'm letting you down. You gave us an opportunity tonight to lift one another up. And
Ooh, see, here we go.
no, I'm done. I just want to say thank you, bro. I appreciate you, and I'm done.
We don't. I love y'all, folks.
Hey man, we love you too, bro.
I'm gonna say this.
Dang.
Before we get out of here, I'm gonna drop this. I don't care where you are in life, where you are in your station, what your beliefs are. There's only one way we're gonna fix this country in this world. I didn't think of this, but this is what I know because I've read it somewhere. And I'm going to just point you there. I can't make you drink, believe it or not. Like Jay said, I can lead you to water, but I can't make you drink. Here's your homework. You want to find out how to solve all the world's problems, cure everything, and everything else is going on? Read 2 Chronicles 7:14. I'm done. Everybody in the chat, I want to thank you. And remember this. No, I need to thank my amazing moderators as well. The donations, Drew and Residual Dad, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Remember this, folks. Keep prepping, because your family is depending on you, and it depends on your life. This is Vision Preparedness. God bless everybody. Stay safe. Have an amazing rest of your weekend. Eat some good food and laugh. We'll see you in the next video.
Yes, sir.
I'm Trent, and this is Vision Preparedness.